Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Have just been Reckneck. That is Reckneck. That is a father and son duo out of Ilderton, Ontario, Canada. They are on the Indie Tunes Records label. That is their latest called Cat's Eyes. And that is like, extended prog rock. Let me think. Kind of like if you listen to it, there's like a movement in every section of that song, kind of like a rock opera in a sense as well. Not surprising since Heavy Kevy, who plays guitar and does vocals on those tracks, is a classically trained guitarist, and of course his son Adam, who does all the drums on those tracks. I mean, killer. I mean, there is not a drum piece in there that is not in sync. It is so crazy the way this kid plays. He's like 17 or 18 years old now. I first met Adam at a drum fest a few years ago. Killer drummer. And they're looking for a bassist. That's right. If you're a young, budding bassist who wants to get together with two really talented guys, one named Adam, the other one named Finn, get in touch with me and I'll put you in touch with them. They're auditioning bassists and they're looking for guys somewhere around the age of 18 to 21, somewhere in there, that want to get in on the ground floor with them and put a power trio together. So they've got about half an album written and got scratch tracks recorded already. These guys are already serious about making a musical career, and they're looking for a bassist to do it with them. So if you're interested in joining, and that is not Reckneck, that is another project. I don't know the name of it just yet, but I will get that from Heavy. All right. Tonight we're going to talk about a bunch of things, and I got a buddy of mine waiting in the wings. I want to talk a little bit about this tonight because some interesting things have come across me, across in front of me the last little while, and I thought, well, you know what? There's some things I want to share. It's interesting. So, I mean, we think about back when Uptown Funk came to be with Bruno Mars. That was like, a killer song that was like extremely popular and won him a ton of Grammys. Bruno Mars mentioned Skippy Peanut Butter in his song. That's right. Skippy was thrilled. When Barbie was mentioned in a song, Mattel sued. That's right. They sued. And when the Kinks mentioned Coca-Cola in a song, the song was banned. Hey, what is with all that shit? Well, we're going to talk about that and some more stuff tonight. And joining me tonight is my buddy, the Dr. Dorner, Brent the Dr. Dorner, originally from Helix, but of My Wicked Twin fame. Here he is. Hey, Brent.
Hey, how's it going?
It's great to have you on, brother.
Hi, Donnie Coulter. We should have beer together.
Donnie Coulter is in the house tonight. I got to go to the chat over here. The chat's open if you want to jump on board. Hey, Donnie, how's it going, man? Good to have you on board with this. Sometimes the chat won't let me respond to people online here, which kind of sucks.
It's too bad we can't have Donnie on with us.
Well, Donnie has been on the show long time ago. It's probably he's overdue to have him on the show. Him and Hardcore L, they produce music down in Windsor for a thing called Creatures of Condition. Donnie says, Brent, definitely we can do that. So that would be cool to get online and talk about music and what's going on in the world of music. Well, tonight I want to talk about unreal lyrics that actually made it into the dictionary. Now, I think I got about 10 kind of words here. So I'm going to say this word, Brent. You tell me what the word means to you, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
Yeah.
YOLO. 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 What's that mean?
I don't know. Somewhere between a bolo from a be on the lookout and a yell. A bolo,
Okay.
a YOLO.
Okay, so the Oxford Dictionary definition is now used to express the view that one should make the most of the present moment without worrying about the future, often as irrational for impulsive or reckless behavior. So YOLO comes from the phrase "you only live once."
That's true. This is not a dress rehearsal.
No, seriously, you get one chance at this, and that's it, basically, right? It's a long and noble cultural heritage. It actually dates back to the time of Johann Strauss, um, the second, in 1855. Can you believe that?
Well, aren't you just a plethora of knowledge tonight?
Well, there's other dates in here that mention Wolfgang von Goethe's play Clavigo from 1774. So this goes back a long time. This whole "you only live once" analogy, and YOLO actually became a word that made its way into the Oxford Dictionary, but it was used in song lyrics.
Well, who knew?
Did you know that the Grateful Dead's drummer Mickey Hart named his homestead YOLO?
I did not.
And apparently the reason for that is he didn't quite have enough money to buy it and had to talk himself into it.
So, how big was this ranch?
I don't know. I don't know how big it is. Maybe that's some research for another show. Drake also did a mixtape called YOLO, spraying the term liberally throughout his lyrics, including on the motto, which arguably the song it really pushed the term into common language, I guess. Here's one
Really?
for here's one for you. Shizzle.
Uh, it's like a swizzle stick, only with poop. Shizzle.
Pretty close, man. It's like a slang for the word shit, right? Um, some people won't say it, and they got a mouthful of it, but they won't say it. Um, Definition: a variant or alteration of another lexical item for shizzle, often in the form of shizzle. There you go.
Well, I don't think that word's going to be finding its way into any of my recent songs.
Now, who do you think made that word famous? Who do you think made that word famous? The word shizzle.
You mean a musician?
Yeah, it actually was an artist. Well, you might not consider them an artist, but a lot of people would consider this particular person an artist.
I don't know. Frank Zappa?
Snoop Dogg.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know anything about that guy.
Snoop picked it up and made it his own, introducing himself in the song, suited and booted in the Big Snoopy Do Double Jizzle. But it's shizzle that made it into the common language.
No way.
Here's another one. Bling.
Bling. Well, I know what that is,
Right.
but I don't know how it shines and it sings.
Well,
Bling.
it was, and the thing. Here's a weird thing. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't a real word, right? I mean, it was a not real word that actually was used in a song lyric, and then made it into the Oxford Dictionary because
I
it became commonplace language.
really, I didn't know this stuff was happening.
I know, isn't it? It's like pop culture stuff, right? It's like total pop culture. So yeah, and there was a song by the rapper BG on 1999 song called "Bling Bling."
Well, yeah, the reason I don't know about some of this stuff because I don't think I've ever really listened to a rap song.
Okay,
I
so
might have
here's
one or two.
you heard. Have you ever heard of Miley Cyrus?
Yes.
Okay, so think about the word twerk.
Yeah, I know what it is, but work your junk. I don't know.
She made the word famous right when she started twerking, and the twerking was the wiggling of her butt, right?
Oh, isn't that cool?
Yeah, so the word twerk made it from pop culture into the Oxford Dictionary. Who would have
Don't
known? Who
don't
would have?
don't pump up your junk.
Well, here's the interesting thing: the first recorded modern use of the word twerk appears in the song "Do the Jubilee" by DJ Jubilee from 1993. I didn't know that.
I don't know that song. I don't know that artist.
I know, it's like, it's so weird, isn't it?
I feel
Right?
like
It's
I'm
it.
out of touch.
I know. Sometimes it makes you feel like you're out of touch, but this is like, pop culture stuff, right? Um, Anyways, the word twerk has been a verb and it's been around since 1848, used to describe the action of thumbs, spurs, and even a kitten's tail. Hmm. Which
Really?
isn't a huge jump to the modern meaning, though, right? I mean, like twerking your butt, right? Here's another one that's become famous. Mic drop.
Mic drop.
A mic drop, yeah.
It's probably from a comedian or something.
Yeah, I think there was different things that made this particular phrase famous. The definition, the Cambridge Dictionary says it's an act of intentionally dropping a microphone after you've given a speech or performance as a way of making an impressive ending.
Yeah, that's how I pictured a comedian right away.
Yeah, yeah. When a stand-up comedian, and you said this, and a stand-up comedian or rapper is finished what he's got to say and wishes to suggest a conversation at the end because he won, that's when a good contemptuous drop of the microphone can be very effective.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Crazy, eh? And there's a lot of different examples when it's been used. Did you recall anybody that you ever toured with over the years of touring that might have used a mic drop? Any, or maybe not
Yeah,
intentionally?
I saw Eddie Money warm up Van Halen at Toronto CNE Stadium,
Okay.
and he came out, and I think he slipped or stepped on a mic cord that rolled, or he slipped and fell on his ass. He did the pickle jar flip, and everybody was laughing at him, right?
Oh man.
And I think they got about two songs in, and everybody was telling him to f off and everything else, and he did this to the whole CNE stadium, threw the mic down, and walked off. They only played two songs.
So he did a mic drop.
He sure did. That's
Um,
really expensive too.
God, man. Now I understand that one time in Helix, Brian Vollmer did an unintentional mic drop. Actually, didn't drop; it went through the ceiling.
That's right. Yeah, they used to tape it up. You know, the one time, like he's got a cowbell and he's banging away with the Fritz's drumstick, and we're on stage, and you know the drumsticks they break off to a long, sharp point. A lot of them, right?
Right.
There's Volmer, and he's so the thing breaks. He throws the cowbell away, reaches for the microphone, and stabs himself in the face with the mic with the drumstick.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, he's bleeding all over the place.
Oh
What a spode.
man. Well, he told me a story about him throwing the microphone through the ceiling. It actually came unattached from the cord because,
They used to tape the hell out of it, and he would swing it around so hard and fast that it would tear the wires right out of the end, and they have to go looking in the ceiling with a ladder to find the microphone.
and would he blow the whole XLR cord with the?
Yeah, yeah, all the wires would just tear out of the end. The tape would tear off, and it went through one of those cheap drop ceiling places. I think that was in Fredericton. We
Oh
used
my
to
God.
jam pack that place. Volmer went through the stage there too. He was jumping
Oh
up
my
and
God.
down so hard the stage collapsed, and he went down through, and we had to stop while these guys came in with plywood and filled up the hole.
Oh my God. Okay, here's another term for you. You might know this one. Jiggy.
Jiggy, don't get jiggy with it.
Yeah, that's it. Will Smith, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I was just watching a construction video, or it was the Hot Rod TV show, and the guy said, "Don't get jiggy with it."
Well, when you get a minute, watch Will Ferrell's getting jiggy with it.
I will.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Check it out. And it's interesting because here's one: the connection in its past used to describe a particular kind of bracing folk music. What do you think about that? Bracing folk music.
Will Smith,
That's right. Jiggy tunes.
don't get jiggy with it.
Don't get jiggy with it. Okay, here's another one. Mullet.
I had one of the mullet. I have one.
You
Uh,
ha-
I had the guy from Air Canada try to get me thrown off the airplane, and I can't say because it was kind of I just can't say.
All right. So,
And
but so wearing a mullet was the mullet popular back in
he
the
was the
days
guy
of
that
rock?
said, I didn't say anything about your mullet. The guy from Air Canada, because I said something to him about his hat.
Oh, and he didn't like your remark about his hat.
Yeah, so he says, "Well, I didn't say anything about your mullet."
God.
So
Hey, I go.
that's how I know that I even what a mullet even was till then.
I see some gold records on the wall behind you.
Yeah, I got a couple of platinum ones over there.
Oh, we need to see those platinum ones too. Read one of them to me.
You know,
Can you
I
see
just
all
had
right with it?
eye surgery, right?
Oh, can you read it though, Brent? I don't know if you can or not. Brent just had cataracts done.
This says, if you can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Presented to Brent Turner to commemorate the sale of over 50,000 units of the Capitol album No Rest for the Wicked, October 1987. And then your Canadian Recording Industry Association certified gold, 50,000.
Certified gold. No rest for the wicked.
We sold 10,000 ourselves, hand a customer right in the clubs.
Yeah, I know you guys. You know what I found the other day, and I'm picking it up. I found a signed copy of White Lace and Black Leather in vinyl. It's signed by all the original members.
Well, I must have signed it then.
Yeah, you all signed it. It's apparently signed by everybody, including Paul Hackman.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I like Paul.
Yeah, who's no longer with us. So
Yeah.
very, very, very cool. Cool thing. So we got the mullet thing down. It's a hairstyle, especially worn by men, in which the hair is short at the front and the sides and left long at the back. Remember the mullet cut? They used to call it hockey hair too, right?
Oh, I got you. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down.
They used to call it hockey hair.
I
I
gotcha.
think was another word for it. Okay, here's another one. Diss. DISS.
Well, that's disrespect. Short.
Yeah, failure to show respect, abuse, disparagement, an expression of scorn, contempt, or an insult. Diss is one of those slang terms that came out of hip hop's early years. So it came out of hip hop, and like an exceptionally useful item of linguistic furniture. It's short for disrespectful, although the 1920s did see people using the term insultingly as an abbreviation of disconnected meaning. As being not quite all there. There you go.
If you say so.
You were dissed if you were not quite all there. Anyway, interesting stuff. Here's another one. Crump.
Crump.
KRUMP. Crump.
I know what a crumpet is, I think. I think it's a dessert or something.
So it was actually a style of dancing.
Really?
To hip hop music. Yeah.
I've never heard
Characterized by rapid, exaggerated movements of the arms and the legs. There you go. In my world, we don't call it that. We'd call it having a seizure. but it's called the crump, and they actually teach it in hip hop classes. Crumping style was developed in the early 2000s by clown dancers Caesar Willis and Joe Artist Ratti. And a 2004 documentary by Dave Chappelle popularized the dance style. There you go.
Well, I know who Dave Chappelle is.
Yeah. And apparently it's used on several music videos, including Madonna's Hung Up and Galvanized by the Chemical Brothers.
I've heard of the Chemical Brothers.
Yeah. You've heard of Madonna too, I'm sure, but.
Yes.
Hey, what are your thoughts? Okay, very quickly, as a longtime rocker, what are your thoughts of having someone like, Madonna in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What do you think of that?
You should have a pop Hall of Fame and separate them like they should. It should be separated. Does Dolly Parton belong there? No.
No, like it's weird that there's some people in the Rock and Roll Music Hall of Fame that I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird, you know.
Well, the Rock
And
and Roll Hall of Fame, they don't have their shit together anyway because they waited what 30 years to put Deep Purple there. Like, hello.
yeah, I don't even think the Canada Hall of Fame has their stuff straight with regards to music either. You know,
Well, Canada's bullshit thing that they got there. They got all these Canada's famous bands, and Helix isn't even mentioned.
yeah,
But they got the Parachute Club in there. I don't even know if they even had a gold album. For
I
instance,
find it really weird that Helix is not mentioned in there at all. And I'm actually thinking about starting an online petition to get
I
Helix in there.
yeah, I emailed them and said, "Hey, you got all these bands I've never even heard of." I said, we were international. How come we're not in there?" I just crickets, not even a response.
Yeah, I just find it's really strange. You're gonna have a Hall of Fame for rock artists that were and here's the interesting thing. Helix was the first Canadian rock band to tour from the East Coast to the West Coast on the bar circuit.
I didn't know that.
I know, little known fact.
Oh, where did you read that?
That's a fact brought that was told me by Brian Vollmer.
Oh well, I tell you, we played every shithole on the planet.
Caleb Duck says, "What's up,
Hey,
dudes?"
Caleb, what's up?
Now there's a hell of a nice guy, Caleb Duck.
Yeah, good player too.
Yes,
He played on Wicked Twins last album. No, he did the one solo for me. I
he's
need an
a
I need an out solo. I was working on my last song tonight for my new album, and I need a lazy out solo, and it ain't coming to me.
oh, there we go. There you go. There's the challenge, Caleb. Brent
And,
just issued you a challenge.
I'm still looking for a young male pop singer for my pop album,
That's right. So if you're a young male pop singer,
like
uh,
16 years old with musical experience and has studio experience. I
great.
will share 50% of the songwriter's royalties. I send me an email or a Facebook with an example of yourself singing so I can hear what you sound like. And you got to be good looking too. I want it all.
And the thing is that you've been working on this pop album for like a better part of a year.
Yeah, it's in, like I don't want to pigeonhole songwriting into one category. So sometimes I feel like I want to rock. And
Right.
sometimes I feel like I want to be creative, but it's not rock. It's
So
lighter.
if, so if you get a young male pop singer to sing this pop album for you, how much creative leeway are you going to give them?
I'd like him to sing it the way I've already sang them first,
Okay.
and then he can have at it all he wants on his second or third. Give me a bunch of takes. I'll split, but I'm gonna create a new musical artist. I can't tell. I can tell you the name, but I have to kill you. Uh,
I know, and
so I've got
it's a
the
great
artist
name.
name and this 16-year-old good-looking young man. He's going to be that guy. I'm going to make him that guy, and that's what I'm after.
Now, what if he's 17 or 18?
I don't care as long as he's young, because it's a pop album. I took all the guitars out of it. It's just basically piano and keyboards, and not even drums sometimes.
So you
You
got
know,
to be a really good pop singer. You got to be good looking because you got to have the whole package. And Brent's going to help you not only produce your music for you, but he's also going to, we talked about this, he'll help you make videos, and he makes killer videos.
well, I try. I mean, I'm not a Hollywood film guy. I got a couple of cameras that today with everybody's smartphones, a smartphone camera is as good as my $2,200 Canon camera, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean you've done some really great videos. I mean, you've done some great ones for Helix.
yeah, doing the Eat Sleep Rock video, that was fun. Fun to do. I asked Vollmer to bring me an audio track of the song at 50% slower speed, exactly 50%. So it was going 8, 2, 3, 4, sleep, 2, 3, 4, rock. So then I got them all to mime the whole song going really, really slow. They just mimed along to the, and I had said, "Mate, swing your arms a lot," stuff, right? And then you took the finished song film, you throw it into your editor, you speed the song back up to 100%, and you speed the film up 50%. Now it looks like they're in super hyper speed, but everything matches, right? Like all the movements all match, even
I'm
though
going to
they're
share a
going
little bit of
really
this.
fast, right? But it's all in sync with the music. So it was fun to do.
I'm going to share a little bit of this. Hang on a second and see if I can find it here. I think I've got it.
Yeah, when they swing their arms, look like they turned into helicopters. Eh?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And we shot it on green screen in the basement here in my man cave, and you had to watch when you swung your arm because you hit your hand on the ceiling and take all the skin off your knuckles, right?
Right.
So they had to actually bend their knees before they swung their arms around.
So there it is. There it is. There. I'm going to see if I can. It's letting me share it, but I want to see if I can.
I made that album cover for him too.
I know you did some really, really great work for them on that business. I'm going to see if I can.
Brian and the Helix guys are still my good friends, and no one's ever left on that terms. Right?
I'm just gonna play a little snippet here from the beginning of it, Brent. That is like freaking awesome work, man. Like that.
What's his name? The guitar player on the left, Gary Borden. He swung his arm. Looks like a freaking helicopter, right? But it's all in sync.
And the cool thing about it is that they're playing on top of their album cover.
Well, yeah, I edited the video, so I just that's a 3D environment.
Yeah, like they're playing now. You got them on a green screen there, right?
Yeah.
And so you've got them playing on top of their album cover.
That's right.
That is so ingenious. Was that whose idea was that?
Mine. See, your video is supposed to sell albums. So I thought rather than seeing that they're already on green screen and you want to sell that album, why don't we just put them on the album?
Right.
Like literally on the album. But see, I had a better edit than what you saw there. But Vollmer insisted that all 5 guys had to be in the video the whole time, where I was taking my virtual camera in After Effects and I was moving in on guys and stuff, right? Where you'd lose other guys when you're zoomed in, right?
Right.
But he wouldn't go for it. So, he's my boss. And when I'm working for him and I do what he says and he pays for it.
You know what? Here's an interesting thing. Here's a really, really cool thing. I think what you should do is do an alternate video, because you still have the footage, right? Do you still have the in and out?
Of what video?
Do you still have all the video that you used for making that video?
Probably.
Do you have the in and out filming as well?
I don't know what you mean by in and out.
When you did the pan in and out of the different players.
I still have that edit somewhere? Yes.
Then what you should do is do an alternate video up there and see if if the alternate video sells more albums. If it sells more albums, then
Hey, when I work for Brian Vollmer and he pays me, whatever he tells me, that's what I do, because he's the boss.
Right. So you do exactly what the boss tells you to do.
You're right. Or lose your job.
There's an interesting song that I want you should listen to. It's called Crimson Scene. It's by a band called Creatures of Condition. They're on the record label. You can find them at IndieTunes.com, Brent. That's Donnie's band.
Right.
It's called Crimson Scene, and Donnie would like to make a video about it. It's a very psychedelic type song.
Well, with any of the Crimson Scene,
Yep.
Donnie Coulter.
There we go.
Um, Usually, I won't start editing a music video. I think I've done 152 videos now.
Right.
But I need to have the lyrics because we're talking visual. So you want to match up every sentence to whatever you're singing about. So you need the lyrics to go off of. That's a really good place to start.
Excellent, excellent. So we didn't think we would get into talking about making music videos, but you've become very good at making music videos. And if you don't believe me, you got to check out some of the videos that Brent has made for My Wicked Twin. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. You can check it out on My Wicked Twins YouTube channel. Brent's posted some of them on Facebook. A lot of Helix videos are done by Brent. So check it out. If you're a band that's interested in getting a cool video made, he can hook you up.
I did some trucker videos more recently. Jimmy V and the Hinton Hawks, Jimmy V TV, a bunch of his videos. The living room rock stars. People were amazed that they said, in their video it was called Blue Steel Highway, where they had
Right.
it looked like they were smuggling guns across the border.
Right.
So we pulled up at the Delhi High School, got a bunch of their friends to line up. We got a guy in a bus uniform that looks like a border patrol uniform, gave him a walkie-talkie, and some guy with a German Shepherd, and we staged it to look like we were right at the border being inspected at the U.S. Canadian border. And everybody said, "How the hell did you get that footage?" I said, "Well, that's at Delhi High School." On Sunday afternoon, right?
That's so cool. I don't know if don't I don't think I have. I don't think I have it.
Blue Steel Highway. It's a pretty cool video. They got a lot of friends with a lot of real guns, and
Now,
they have a lot of guns. A lot of friends with a lot of guns.
now you don't still have that video, do you? Because Jared took his drive back, right?
Well, it's on Living Room Rockstars YouTube channel, uh,
Right.
Blue Steel Highway.
We'll have to check it out and see if we can't poach that video.
Turns out that every video that I end up doing with musicians, I always end up being best friends with these guys. I've done a bunch of AC/DC clone band videos. The one that I did uh, at the place in Waterloo, it turned out fantastic. It's like the best cover AC/DC band ever. And I filmed it by myself, and the band sent me footage from one of their friends from Thunder Bay or something, and I managed to fit this other guy's stuff in from a completely different show and venue to make it look like it's all one at the same place at the same time. I also
As
actually I had a band play that I filmed them live, and they wanted live videos. And then the song that they chose to go with to lead off their album, they didn't play it that night.
right,
So I made it look like they played the song that they never played, even though they're live on stage. But it looks like they're playing it.
right. If you guys don't know who this guy Brent is, this is Brent the Doctor Dorner, originally guitar player for Helix, and now of My Wicked Twin fame. You're eight. What are you? 6 albums deep now?
Yeah, I'm working on that sixth one. What's this all say? I
What do you?
friggin'
Donnie says he's going to send you a copy of the song to listen to.
great. I need the lyrics, Donnie. Maybe he could Facebook or
He can hook you up with the lyrics.
can you
I might even have a lyric video for that song.
can you give him my email, please?
Yeah, I'll give him your email. No problem.
All right,
So
cool.
you can also check out Brent's work at Red D Film on YouTube. He does a whole lot of different stuff on Red D Film, so check him out there as well. Okay, we're going to continue on here. Here's another one, Bootylicious.
Well, we know what that is, unless you're a spode.
Well, that was made famous by Destiny's Child, right?
I've heard of her.
You've heard of them.
Oh, okay.
So interesting. So that is sort of the play on words that actually made it into the dictionary. Now, here's an interesting thing. The spin-off on all this stuff is, and when I talked at the top of the show, I talked about Bruno Mars mentioning Skippy Peanut Butter in his song Uptown Funk. Now, when Bruno Mars mentioned that, the sale of Skippy Peanut Butter went through the roof.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
seriously, seriously. So, and an interesting thing is that there have been several songs down through the years that have actually referenced brand names, and as a result of those brand names being mentioned, different things happen. For example, there was a band that mentioned Barbie. Okay, and the band mentioned Barbie, and Mattel actually sued the label because it didn't. The song, I'm living in a Barbie world. You know that song, I'm living in a Barbie world.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, they didn't want Barbie to look like a bimbo. So they like said, no, 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 we're suing you because
so
you
so who won?
I can't remember if I can't remember if Mattel won or not. But I know that it was enough to go after them and say, look, I think they ended up ruling with the artist, basically saying it's really up to the people listening to interpret whether or not that's an insult or slam.
So they probably got swiped clean and forgotten
I
about
think
then.
so. I have to look at see what the outcome of that particular one was. There's another one, the Kinks, when they mentioned the words Coca-Cola, the song got banned. In fact, the BBC would not play it because it referenced a popular brand. And do you remember they changed the lyric from Coca-Cola to Cherry Cola? Right?
Right? And then the band called there was a band called Cherry Cola,
Well,
wasn't
I don't know if
there?
there's a band called Cherry Cola, but the song Coca-Cola, right? Um, you know, from Lola, right?
Right. Cherry Cola. La, la, la,
But it, but
la,
it, but it
whatever
was but it
what
was
rhymes
but
Cola,
but it was
cola.
originally referencing Coca-Cola, and the BBC said we won't play your song because it's referencing a famous brand, and you know it's wrong.
Go fig- yeah, go figure, a government funded
Can't
organization.
do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing because there were other songs that the BBC also banned because it referenced famous brands, but there's a bunch of songs that referenced a bunch of different brands, and if you think about it, sometimes the brands just get mentioned in the song. They're not really mentioned there as an intention to popularize the brand.
There's a lot of Chevy truck songs, I think.
Yeah, but there were a lot of songs that actually referenced. We can start. Let's stop. Let's start with the top 10. Okay, Aston Martin music.
That's a car.
Right, and it's mentioned in a song. Rick Ross featuring Drake and Chrisette Michele. And then there's another song called Uber Everywhere.
I
I
never
know. I
heard of
didn't. I
that
didn't know
either.
that one either. Madine, TYO, and then you know this one, Kodachrome, Paul
Yeah,
Simon.
Paul Simon. That's a good song. Hit a nice pop
Yeah,
song.
Firestone. That was key.
That's a car
Yeah, it
tire.
was Kigo featuring Conrad Sewell. Dior, Pop Smoke. Blueberry Fago, Little Mosey. And then one called My Adidas by Run DMZ. And that
Go
and
figure.
Hey Porsche by Nelly. Uh, Nike, Nikes by Frank Ocean, and Gucci Gang by Lil Pump. There you go. That's supposedly the top 10. I guess it depends on who you're, you know.
I guess I'm out of touch with all that. I guess I just don't go
Well,
there. I'm not
well,
interested.
here's one you could relate to. Mustang Sally,
Yeah.
Wilson Pickett.
But Mustang, that's a horse,
right? But the Mustang car, right? Right.
perhaps.
Let me think if there's another one here that you'll know this one, Cadillac Ranch.
Yeah, there's the Chevys,
Yeah,
Cadillacs, all
by
kinds of truck songs, diesel trucks, you know.
Cadillac Ranch by Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's another one here, Jeepster by T Rex. And then Mercedes Benz. Who made that song, that car famous in her song?
I have no
Janis
idea.
Joplin.
Oh,
Right.
right.
And then Orange Crush by REM.
Right. That's about mustard gas.
That's right. But it's Orange Crush. Orange Crush also is the soda pop.
Mustard
Pink,
gas.
Pink Cadillac by Bruce Springsteen. Hot Rod Lincoln by Charlie Ryan.
Great tune.
Great tune, eh? Great tune.
Yeah, man. Great storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, some great. Now, that's the cool thing about songs, too, is that songs can usually tell a really good story, right?
Yeah, my daddy said, "You're going to drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod."
That's
Lincoln.
right.
Uh-huh.
And Coca-Cola Cowboy by Mel Tillis.
I don't know if I know that one, but I know who Mel Tillis
And then
is.
Hello Kitty by Avril Lavigne.
I'd have to hear it if I know it or not.
I know. Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana.
Right. So what has that got to do with anything?
Apparently, it mentions a brand.
Why is there a brand called Teen
I'm
Spirit?
guessing that there is. I'm guessing that there is. Let's see if there's something. Oh, Red Barchetta by Rush.
Isn't that a food or something?
Well, Red Barchetta is a car, right? Yeah,
it
it's a very, very rare sports car. Red Barchetta. In fact, I think not Alex Lifeson, Neil Peart actually had one of those in his car collection.
He was pleasant to talk to.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, at Long Island Coliseum in Long Island, New York.
No, you guys played at a place called the Gasworks, right, in Toronto?
Yeah, I never really ever liked that place.
Now,
long and skinny. It's shitty, just as shitty as the El Macambo.
But now there were a lot of bands that got their start there.
Yep.
Did Rush ever play there?
Yeah. Probably. I think they were before us, and I can't say for sure.
There's a tune called From a Buick 6 by Bob Dylan.
I don't know that either.
I didn't know that one either. Let me see if there's something else you might recognize. Other people would know this band. I know this band. They're called Kings of Leon. They have a song called Super Soaker. Remember the Super Soakers?
Yeah. The one song they got, Sex is on Fire. That's a great song.
Let's see. John Cougar. John Deere John 316 by Keith Urban. There you go.
John Deere. Dear John.
The song Polaroid by Keith Urban.
Right, and My Little GTO by Donnie Coulter.
Now there was a song. There's a song there, Polaroid. They did I think it was a video or something like that about the song Polaroid, and the company Polaroid actually went and gave Polaroid instant cameras to people in the audience, and they all took Polaroid photos, and it got posted as a photo array. Yeah, so I mean, what a cool thing!
It's a cool idea. Yeah, it's a cool idea.
It's kind of cool how a song. Do you remember the Polaroids when you could, take the picture and you'd peel it off and the picture would develop right in front of you?
Yeah, we had
that. Was pretty cool. And then they got fancier with them when they popped out the end. You could take the picture and it went through motorized rollers and it would go out through the end.
Yeah, it would spit it out the front. Yeah, I had one of those back when the Dead Sea was still.
My sister had one of those black and white ones where you had to peel the back off of it and then peel the film,
Oh
and
yeah,
yet, and you could get all the chemical gunk on your hands.
yeah,
You
right.
had to fold it all up and throw it in the garbage. Can you imagine all the chemical gunk we were throwing in the garbage back in the day?
Yeah, yeah, mercury, all kinds
Yep.
of stuff.
Donnie says, "My little GTO." There's another tune. Um, let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got here. Is there any more? Oh, the Gene Genie by David Bowie.
So what's that?
Apparently, you know, it's another
A vacuum cleaner or something?
it's another the Gene Genie must have been a brand. Working for the MCA by Leonard Skinner.
What's the MC? What's MCA?
MCA Records. Work
Oh, right, I remember that
Yeah, working for
song.
the MCA. Interesting. White Lightning by George Jones.
And that's whiskey or something, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, White Lightning. Yeah, White Lightning was it was a whiskey, and it was also a was it bootleg booze, right? Made in the hills.
Right.
Anyway,
George Jones. George Jones had a lot of great songs. I liked a lot of what he wrote. He had more number one songs, I think, in America than anybody
it's
back
very
then.
interesting. How song lyrics have come about over the years, and some of them have referenced famous or referenced brands, have changed pop culture. Um, you know, I think that a cool tune for a song, and again, there's a story about it. The song "Billy Oxygen" that you wrote.
What about
Well,
that?
wasn't there something about Billy Oxygen written on a bathroom wall or something like that? And that's where you got the idea for the song?
Yeah, it was written on the shitter wall. It had, for a good blow job, phone this number and for all that. And then it said fucking Billy Oxygen was here or something. And so we even had a picture of it at one time. They took a picture of it on the bathroom stall. And then we just said that's a really odd name. And I ended up writing a song called Billy Oxygen.
It's pretty cool where words come.
Right off the shitter wall.
Yeah, and then Donnie says, "Fun, fun, fun," till the daddy took the T-bird away. Till daddy took the T-bird away.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Curve, Stingray. Yep. There's a whole lot of different songs that referenced, brands over the years. And something I want to touch on tonight before we part company, because we're coming up to the top of the hour, was this whole business of Spotify. You and I talked about it before the show tonight when you were testing out your connection with me, and the whole Spotify thing is somewhat mystifying, in the sense that you could get 5,000 streams or sell a T-shirt and make the same amount of money.
That doesn't even sound right. It sounds like you got to sell. You gotta have. It's more like 25,000 streams to make the profit of a T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, and you may well be right. I mean, I'm talking on the high side. I'm talking on the high side of streaming. The best way to remunerate an artist ever is to actually download their tracks, because whether you own a membership or not, if you don't own a membership, then downloading artist tracks for $1 a track is pretty reasonable music, and that gives you a personal license to play that music forever. That can, you can download that into your permanent library and keep it forever. Whereas, streaming the music, you only have it as long as you actually have access to the platform. But if you have a membership to a platform or not, downloading a track for an artist is the best way to pay them for the hard work they've put together to put that track together. A lot of countless hours put into writing the song, producing the song, getting it to sound just right, so you can release it out there. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and it's a very small price to pay to end up with a piece of art that you can hold on to for forever. We offer all of our artist music at a discount off our website. If you download the whole album, you usually get 1 or 2 bonus tracks. By doing that, you can go to IndieTunes.com and you can do that, and you can download straight off our website. It's really easy peasy using PayPal. Or if you belong to a streaming membership such as iTunes, Spotify, and all those others, go there and download the track into your library, because every time you download it, when you download it, the artist still gets paid a download premium as opposed to a stream premium. And there's a huge difference between the two. Yeah.
That's why you're a record company and I'm not.
And the other thing is that streams don't necessarily mean anything unless you look at the analytics behind those streams and find out whether those streams are coming from people who actually have premium memberships with the streaming services. If they're using a free version of the streaming service, you may be getting 0 to maybe a 28th of a cent per stream. Yeah.
Ken, how does it work? Because I'm old school and I've never owned a smartphone. Can I stream music on my PC?
Oh, yeah, you can stream music on your PC very easily. I can show you how to do that.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I can show you how to do that very, very easily. There is some great ways you can stream your favorite artist music. If you don't have the money to download the music, then go to the application. You can go to Spotify or you can go to iTunes. If you don't belong to iTunes, you can use the Spotify free. The cool thing about streaming your artist music and helping them with streams on their music by streaming their music is that it moves their music up in the algorithms. And I spend countless hours studying the algorithms, trying to figure out how to break through them, because when Spotify got their catalog of music, they had to make a promise to all the major record labels. And that was that their artists would always get top ranking. So when you're signing a deal to get the catalogs of Universal Music, of Sony Entertainment, and Columbia Music, you are signing a contract with them that not only gives you an obligation to put their music ahead of everyone else's, but it also means that you pay them more per stream than anybody else. So there are major artists who are making more per stream than My Wicked Twin, for example. And that has nothing to do with the quality of the music. It has to do with the deals that were cut in the back rooms between Spotify and other streaming services with the major record labels.
Well, like royalties, that's set up, like say SOCAN or ASCAP or BMI, that is all set up that it doesn't matter if you're Led Zeppelin or Brent Durner, everybody gets the same royalty.
Exactly. That is one place where you get the same royalty. It's pretty much the same in other places like Connect, and with places like Sound Exchange. They are in.
Sound Exchange is great. Donnie Coulter, sign up to Sound Exchange. They sent me money. I like it.
Yeah, Sound Exchange is a great way for you to earn royalties off your music. And remember, one of the things that we do these days is we push all of our artists' music out to Instagram, to Snapchat, and to Facebook, so people can actually use our artists' music when they're creating reels. And so the cool thing about.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
no, it's all right.
Going back to Sound Exchange.
Yep.
I got a royalty check from them guys one time, and all it had was the 3 biggest satellite radio stations. And it looked to me like the satellite radio stations weren't paying out the royalties, and they got caught. And I got a big, juicy friggin' US dollar check all in one big lump sum from three satellite, because your statements always say where did this royalty money come from, who paid it,
That's
and it
right.
shows you who paid it, and it was the three, like Sirius and the two others. Like I don't have satellite radio, but there's
Right.
two others. So
And I, helping people to establish themselves. I want to give a shout out to a friend of ours, a common friend, Brian D. Wade,
yeah,
from Highway Freaks. Actually helped Brian get things on the road with his podcast, and I said, make sure that you license the music that you're using on your show, so that you're properly paying royalties for the music that you're using on your podcast, because it's a great way to give back to the artist. And what they're going to charge you for licensing is a small amount, and it changes as you make more income. So if you're a low income earner on your show, you don't pay tons of money to license to be able to play licensed music. But the cool thing about it is that every time you use that music on your podcast, instead of somebody putting a copyright strike against you, or saying, you can't use that music, or your music's been muted, you actually have the right to do it, and the artist actually gets paid, right? And so
that's always good.
people like Brent have registered their music in several places. They register, first of all, we register the master tracks, for all the masters. Those all get registered with ISRCs, which are international recording, sound recording codes, and then ISWCs, which relate to publishing. So, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that stuff more as it progresses, because Brent is very knowledgeable about some of this stuff, and he sends me stuff in the email all the time about it. And I
Yeah,
haven't had.
signing up with Connect and
Yeah.
they were really helpful. They sent me a spreadsheet. I filled it out. You can give yourself your own codes. You just print them out, type it in to fill in the spaces, and then Connect gave me ISRC codes, and that's how you track your music. Without them, you got no way to track the music.
Well, I understand, if I understand Connect correctly, and we maybe get this into another show, but my understanding is that Connect actually will negotiate rates for sync licensing.
They negotiate rates.
Rates for sync licensing according to the industry standard. So if the standard is like 11% or whatever it is, they will grant sync licensing on the artist's behalf that's based on the industry standard. So if the industry standard is 16 cents on the dollar or 11 cents on the dollar, whatever the standard is, they will grant a sync license on your behalf if you're signed up to them.
I didn't know that, and again, that's why Indie Tunes is my record company, because I don't know that shit.
My understanding now I've yet to I got to confirm that with someone from Connect, but I'm 99% certain that they are able to do that if you are signed up with Connect. It gives them the ability to license your music for several different means and ways. So, for example, the reason you got that big fat check, right, is because those radio stations, whether they're satellite radio stations or internet radio stations, they actually can pay licensing to be able to play that music. And when they pay their licensing, you get your royalties. They collect royalties off those playlists. So
that's great. Keep
it's
up the
sweet.
good work, boys.
It's sweet for you. So make sure, and so all the artists that I've been working with as of late, they are encouraged to sign up under all those different rights organizations. So SOCAN for sure if you're Canadian, BMI or ASCAP if you're American. I think it's BMI. I don't know. One of the two is free. SOCAN is free. And I don't think you even have to be Canadian to do SOCAN, because I believe they now collect international royalties. So they collect all over the world now. They've actually changed their mandate over the last few years, and I think that's come from members of SOCAN that have said, hey, we need you collecting more royalties from all territories, not just from Canada and U.S. So
Yeah,
anyway,
like I can't say that I've ever seen it. Like we had a #1 album in Sweden. I can't say I've ever seen a check from Europe ever, ever.
no, and you probably won't see a check from Europe. It's probably come through SOCAN, or it's maybe come through Connect, or maybe through Sound Exchange.
Well, Sound Exchange, when I found them online, they said, we gave away $32 million to artists last year. Are you one of them? I thought, probably. To sign up for free here. It took me a damn near week to fill out the paperwork because you got
Right.
to have who wrote what portion of what song, and the pie with the artist Canadian, all that, the pie, CALP or whatever it is.
Here's
Uh,
a
and
here's an
so
interesting thing.
after a week, I filled out all the paperwork, submitted it online to New York, is where they're based,
Yep.
and then I kind of forgot all about it. And about a half a year later, I got a nice big check. I phoned Brian Vollmer. Go, Brian, I just got a big check from Sound Exchange. He goes, who? I said, when you get your check, you're going to owe me a case of beer. Don't forget.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing about Sound Exchange. So you know where your royalties were going before that?
I have no idea.
They were going into the black box.
Yeah, I tried to contact those guys. Crickets.
Yeah, so what happens is you don't have to contact the guys about black box royalties. What you need to do is make sure you're signed up with all the royalties rights societies, and they make sure that they'll find those royalties for you. That's their
So
job.
I've signed up with SOCAN and ASCAP. So
Yeah.
what else can I do?
No, so what they end up doing, you never see it. They do a front end load. So they take their percentage off the top before you even see what you get. Did you know that?
Well, SOCAN does the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they're doing all the footwork to find your royalties. They're finding who's holding your royalties.
I
A lot of
can't even get in touch with anybody there. Nobody ever responds.
some of them, I don't know if they have front offices that are manned, Brent, or whether most of it is done, virtually. I'm not exactly sure. All I can tell you is that prior to these rights societies, people signing up to these rights societies to get their royalties collected, there was lots of money going into what they call black box royalties. So these are royalties that were never collected, and they sit in escrow, right? They basically sit in this thing called the black box, and you can't get at them until you get a rights society, because the rights society does a whole bunch of things. That's why you register your repertoire with them, right?
Well, you know what? I phoned SOCAN a few times, and they were really great on the phone, happy to help.
Yeah,
And I'm going to maybe phone SOCAN because they're just in Toronto anyway.
that's right.
Hey, help me out, this black vault thing, because where's my royalties from
Well,
Europe, and
let's here. I got an idea. You contact the folks from SOCAN, find out about that, and see if we can get one of them on the show.
well,
That'd be cool to talk about
that'd be
this.
great if we could get a SOCAN guy on this show.
Yeah, so they can talk about what they do as a rights society and how they help artists.
Well, I gotta write that down.
There you go. There's some fodder for a future show. Well, we're at 1 hour and 10 minutes, so I am going to say it's time for us to depart. It's been great chatting with you tonight, Brent.
It was fun being here.
Brent Dorner, great having you here tonight, buddy. That guy, that's Brent, and I'm Kenny, and you are not. And this has been the Indie Show. Thanks for coming, everybody. Catch you next week.